Well, hello there, my friends, and welcome to the Battle of Agincourt. I know some people were saying, like, oh, come on, you're gonna go for one of the most epic battles of medieval history instead of choosing something a little bit different, a little bit out there. Well, yeah, I mean, come on, I wanted to do Agincourt. I'm not gonna do Henry V's speech or anything like that, but, yeah, absolutely want to take a look here at the battle and just kind of see what it has to offer. Well, hello there, my friends. So, I actually played this battle once before on the difficulty setting above Baron, and I got my ass handed to me. There's no nice way of putting it. I just got absolutely crushed. So this time, I'm actually going to go ahead and put up the aforementioned pikes. I think that's going to be important. Do the same here with the general, because what I did the first time that I tried to do this particular map is I basically just started firing right away. Yeah, you don't want to do that. Obviously, we want to let those French knights get nice and close. And only then, oh, sorry, boys and girls, the old mic drop, only then do we get to do the stabbies. So I think we need to get them close, and we need to, of course, prepare for their charge. It's really not so much the knights that are a problem, it's the men-at-arms over here. And as you can see, the French have a lot of men-at-arms, including even some peasant units, if it comes down to that. So we're going to do everything we can, of course, to avoid a rout and come out victorious. By the way, they've just done a beautiful job on the units for this DLC. Absolutely awesome. All of the men-at-arms, just everything is perfect for the 100 Years' War, of course. And if you want to do an entire 100 Years' War campaign, that is an option. Now, we've got King Henry V himself hanging out right there. And of course, he is going to be an integral part of the battle, but I'm hoping that nobody actually gets to him, that he can fulfill the first charge, essentially. Let's go ahead, deploy stakes here, deploy stakes here. We don't have to be this, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, this ultra defensive. We can certainly get some shots off, but I'm just taking every precaution I can to avoid being completely slaughtered here by the enemy. Alright, so far so good. Hold on one second, folks. Just dropping this on the old Discord. The old Discord. And let's go ahead and end that turn. If I can't get any shots off, I'd still like to get one or two shots, but keeping our distance is probably the best thing to do. Again, letting those French knights and men-at-arms go right into the front of our men, and then we can hopefully shoot them down with arrows. But we are keeping some lanes open so that our men-at-arms can get their hands dirty if they need to. Alright, let's end that turn. Yeah, those mercenary crossbowmen don't come cheap, but they are good units. There's no doubt about that. Okay, my friends, here we go. So I think we should go ahead immediately start firing. Of course, what else are you going to do in a situation like this? Let's make sure we're getting some good shots here. Another shot, wonderful. And that's actually a French lord there. Louis de Bosredon, a sub-general for the enemy. Well, this guy hasn't put up any stakes yet. And I think for our own safety, we should probably go ahead and do that. Just some extra stakes never hurt anybody, right? We're not dealing with vampires here, but they are the French. Alright. Putting some additional stakes down there as well. And let's also hit the knights approaching from this direction. I'm going to keep some of the guys just diagonal here. I don't want to advance. Once again, just stakes never hurt anybody except the enemy. And let's try and just hit this unit exclusively. We don't have to overdo it here. If we start sending units forward to fire, I think it's going to lead to problems. Although I really am tempted to send some longbowmen forward just to get a shot. Yeah, let's end that turn. We already sent these guys forward, which I think is already a bit too much. So directly at the knights, of course. I hate that these guys can get in the woods, though. Like, they're technically in the mud, so if we could charge them with infantry, that would be perfect. But I don't think, yeah, that charge isn't going to go well anyway. Let's focus on their friends right here. No, I almost moved that unit. That would have been a mistake. And we'll turn and fire with the longbowmen, of course. Wonderful. So we actually did get a nice auto break there. Same thing over here. If we could get another auto break on a knight's unit, that would be perfect. 25 down. Damn good. But unfortunately, we can't get a shot with the longbowmen here. I guess the view is kind of blocked by the trees. Let's get a shot with Edward, the Duke of York. Send these knights back. And again, it's really not the knights I'm concerned with. It's the men-at-arms approaching from the center there. 2 ranks of them, including some additional peasants troops over here. And even some gros valets, some traitors. Let's see. Yeah, I don't think there's really any point in putting down any more stakes. Let's end the turn. And again, just kind of let them approach, hopefully. So as you can see, even with the actual stakes up, they can still charge our position. That's not something I was counting on, I must admit. I was kind of hoping it would stop their charge completely, but no, definitely not the case. Let's turn and fire. Man, I really want to push that unit out, but let's not risk it for now. Especially if Sir Thomas Epperingham here can get a shot. Yeah, you know what? I will leave the cover of the stakes. This is something you should never do in this particular battle, but I'm doing this just to sort of increase the amount of shots we can get per turn. Temporarily, of course. Now, we could go in for the charge, but again, they're not weak enough for us to be able to start stabbing them right off their horses. And another auto break. If the whole battle goes like this, it really will be a glorious victory. Although, again, I anticipate that these men-at-arms are going to be a bit more trouble than we anticipated. The knights are super weak in this battle, obviously. Just like the real Battle of Agincourt, right into the mud, right into our pikes, and more importantly, right into our longbowmen. So, if we could just keep those longbows firing, it's almost like a medieval machine gun line. But how successful will they be against these actual single units or regular units coming out here? I'm not so sure. Not so much the knights that... Right, once again, now we can finally start firing on the men-at-arms. Although I don't like the position we've gotten ourselves into here. Could try to fall back. A little too late for that, I believe. And at this point, I'm not going to bother to turn to face the knights. We'll have these two guys focus exclusively on the mounted knight unit. Because we need to start shooting at the men-at-arms and start weakening them right now. So Thomas Everingham. Look at how far the longbowmen can fire. I absolutely love them. And I really like, maybe this is just me, but it seems like with this DLC, they've really improved the guys just falling down dead. I love it. Especially for a turn-based game, you rarely get to see that. Let's, maybe... No, we're not going to advance with, Thomas Camoy. But I might advance with these longbowmen at some point. For now, we'll hold off. Let's see if we can get some shots over here. I'm going to focus my shots on the enemy's right flank, our left flank. How you doing, Numerian? Lucky for them not being out of arrows after shooting so much, indeed. You would think that they'd start running out pretty soon. But I'm really going to try and focus on that flank. Now, with these units, of course, I can't really do that, but we can put our focus exclusively on that men-at-arms unit. Because if they get into combat with our actual longbowmen, then we're going to be in trouble. We also need to make sure that the men-at-arms are going to be disrupted. I don't think we have any issue there. Come on. Oh, not quite, it seems. Alright, I'm going to push forward a little bit with the longbowmen. Really want to try and damage that unit. The only actual melee units we have are these guys right here. Of course, King Henry V, the Baron, English men-at-arms, and Humphrey, Duke of Gloucester. And they're great, but again, that's only 5 men-at-arms units. The longbowmen are capable of melee combat. They actually do a pretty good job, but not as good, obviously, as men-at-arms. These guys are fully kitted out in armor. It's just not going to be easy for us. Alright, pass the morale check. Of course, the French passed the morale check. Alright, here we go. Maybe another shot. Getting a little nervous because I have sent quite a few units out of the actual stake formation here. We can fall back, but that could result in a morale check if we're not careful. I think we can kind of get away with this. Alright, never thought I'd say this, but, over to the French. Again, those crossbowmen still doing quite a number on our men. Lots of mercenary crossbowmen in this battle for the French enemy. And again, this is when these men-at-arms are starting to try and close ranks. We can't let that happen. I don't want to lose the Battle of Agincourt on my own channel. I'll never get over it. Nice. That's what they get for attacking stakes there. I think we could even go for a melee attack here next turn, but, maybe... Oh, okay, so they actually are engaged. I thought they would actually break away due to the failed charge. So you know what? We're gonna follow through. Or should we? No, let's not follow through. Let's just resolve the combat here with the existing unit. And, of course, just like the historical battle there, those knights were stabbed pretty badly once they actually got to our lines. Now, the men-at-arms. And I think this is what we really need to worry about. It's going to be all of these men-at-arms units. So that flag is starting to become tattered. Once that happens, of course, we know that they're losing quite a few men. but it's not enough to stop the charge, as far as I can tell. In fact, I think we need to move back with the longmen to open up the lane here for Baron Thomas Camoy. I hate the fact that this might cause a cohesion test, though. That's really frustrating. Come on. Okay, we're good. We're good. 3.6 Röntgen, you know, nothing special. Seeing so many Frenchmen in their armor marching at you and not fleeing Englishmen did a really good job. Well, yeah, I mean, look at the numbers here, guys. I mean, we've got, of course, this defensive position. This is the initial French attack. Of course, we dealt with the mounted cavalry, but look at what they have back here. It's like an entirely new army. Some additional French Gros Valet units here. Really nice, by the way. Really pretty. And French Volgiers and some peasants. Even the peasants have come to fight for the French. Well, now we know we need to win the battle. You know what peasants do. They peasant! My goodness. Come on, guys. That old gag. I kind of want to just put down stakes at this point. Yeah, I think I'm not going to risk firing even. Just because I want them to try and charge that position. But let's shoot down this cavalry for sure. Still doing pretty well on this flank. There we go, an auto break. And just because of, you know, tremendous casualties there. 54 of 144 knights left running in terror. Of course, during the actual battle, these knights would be running into their own men. We don't get that effect in this game, although I'd love to see it. Let's just turn with Edward, the Duke of York. And again, start firing at those men-at-arms. Again, everybody expected this to be a really easy battle. I know I did. I played on the difficulty setting above Baron. And I got crushed here. So I'm definitely nervous. Definitely want to get a victory here. Could move up and start firing, but that's going to get us out of position, I feel. Yeah, let's just use this unit. Not attacking with the Baron or the King unless absolutely necessary. Again, that unit is looking pretty weak. If we could just break that, I mean, the difference would be astonishing. Yeah, let's focus exclusively on him. Once they charge the line, I don't think we can hold for very long. Alright, let's end the turn. The French continue to advance, and there are a lot of French in this battle, that's for sure. They're starting to make impact. This is what I feared. Now the question is, can we kill enough of them before they do enough damage here? Smashed by the French. It's going to be interesting. Okay, wow. Quite a few attacks here. Now I feel like we should have moved forward with Baron Thomas Camoy. Let's, at the very least, yeah, let's push forward a bit here so that we get the charge next turn. We could actually still come in for the attack, but it's not going to be a flank attack of any sort. So I wonder if we just go for the attempt at the flank? I don't know. A little confusing. And again, we have very few actual melee units. I guess we just move forward and try and get that flank attack. So hopefully next turn, although since they're men-at-arms, the flank attack might actually not be possible. I'm not sure. Not from that direction, at least. Like, we would have to get a full flank attack. And they are still not wavering. That's impressive, to say the least. Now, what I think I want to do is bring this group of English men-at-arms to assist Humphrey. So we'll push Humphrey forward. Unfortunately, he's not going to be able to charge next turn. Then again, it looks like we would also have to turn. It's just going to take too long. What we will do is start pushing forward here a bit. Just turn. Well, at least face them. And, yeah, why not? We can actually try to leave this area and continue to pepper the enemy with shot here. Oh, nice. Headshot on the old knight. Again, I will kind of want to try and weaken the attack over here. But we've got our own problems to deal with, so let's just keep shooting. Alright, here we go. I think I'm feeling like we might get crushed by the French. As you can see, we're already getting fragmented here. It's difficult to know how to approach the battle, because of course, if you know anything about the battle, you kind of just want to stay put, let the enemy attack you, and shoot them down. But these men-at-arms are pretty strong, I must say. And they're not as easily affected by the storm of arrows here, to quote the DLC. At least we passed that morale check. Just have to kill them little at a time, as you can see here. So really go ahead and just try and pepper this group with arrows. Unless we can get a flank attack, although I don't think we can here. Fire away. Yeah, simply can't go for an attack on that particular position. We might as well resolve the combat. And actually here, I mean, if we could keep it up, there is a chance we could break that French men-at-arms unit. Definitely going to go for it. Could take some time, but it would be pretty damn victorious. There we go. They are disrupted. That's a start. I'm telling you, this battle is not as easy on this DLC as you would expect. Absolutely a chance that we could not manage to come through victorious at all. Alright, let's turn and fire here. Again, just trying to weaken individual units if possible. And at this point, we are involving Baron Thomas Camoy. Again, one of only 5 men-at-arms units that were regiments, I guess, that we have here. Gotta resolve that combat too. Definitely concerned because they are gonna charge us here next turn. If we were able to get a charge with this unit against them in the mud, It would have been a beautiful situation. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case. Okay, I see what you're doing. Yeah, let's push forward. Not much we can do with him, unfortunately. Now, I wonder if we should have maybe engaged him in melee combat intentionally, because then Humphrey would have gotten, I think, a somewhat stronger attack. Nonetheless, we are sending in Humphrey, Duke of Gloucester. Hopefully he can turn the battle in our favor. Not a great initial attack there by Humphrey. The odds were on our side, but unfortunately went against us there. And actually, if we could stick it through, we could do pretty well there on the secondary turn. But I think we'll actually hold our position and just keep firing, because they've already lost quite a few men there. As you can see, initially that unit had 259 men down to 161. Same over here. I mean, kind of tempted to go ahead and charge. Not bad. We've really only got one unit that's out of the battle. Everybody else is almost fully engaged. Now, if we take King Henry, we send him over here. We can smash that unit, but of course we are risking the life of the king. Let's go for it. Let's do it, of course. And I'm going to bring the longbowmen out as sort of some bait, so that if the men-at-arms are going to charge anybody, it's going to be the longbowmen. Now, I expected these English men-at-arms to do a lot better. So let's actually let them engage in combat first. I'll just turn in their direction. It's intense, Alex Artemyev. It is. It really is. Like, I totally expected a super easy battle when I got the DLC. Not the case. And for anyone wondering, we are playing on Baron difficulty. I think that's like 3rd or something. I'm not by any means a master of this game, but I enjoy playing it, especially when they've got these DLCs. By the way, you can get it on my store, Nexus GG, Agrippa Maxenius. You can't purchase this specific DLC, unfortunately, but you can get Field of Glory 2 Medieval. So why not pick it up with that gauntlet you've got on there? It's a great game. It's worth your time for sure. But make sure to get some DLCs. Come on. So they are fragmented. We could see a break here. That would really help us out, because we have to defeat this group for sure before those reinforcements arrive. I think if they get here before we utterly crush these guys, we're finished, basically. Let's see. Nice. Got an auto break. I like that. Unfortunately, we can't get a charge. Not this turn, anyway. Now, we could attack with King Henry V here. Let's go for it. Oh, yes! A wonderful break. We lucky few indeed. Let's see. Again, I'm just going to pepper him with arrows. I'm not going to try and risk a charge. Not yet, anyway. Okay, now I might risk a charge. 2 arms! Hey, Andrew! How you doing, buddy? Let's resolve that combat for sure. And actually, they held firm. That's what I was most concerned about. So it's definitely not time to charge with the longbowmen. It almost never is time to charge with the longbowmen. But in this battle, there are some exceptions. Let's thread this group over here, actually. It's going to take some time for them to get here, but that's okay. Or is it? Maybe not. Nice. Slow and steady wins the race. At least that's how I'm approaching this battle right now. Might be the wrong approach. That's it. Let's end the turn. Again, I'm really thankful our guys held firm there, but there are just a lot of situations on the battlefield where we could potentially break, cause a massive morale check, and see the men-at-arms can actually fall back if they fail those morale checks. Now, we're just going to fire arrows at them, but that's a little scary. For England! Oh, I wish we could play Hail Britannia right now. A little too early, anyway. Yes, so Alex is asking if it has a non-linear campaign. I think it's pretty linear, unfortunately. It's sort of like, you know, but you do get to make, like, certain decisions to determine, some of the battles. However, one great part, you were asking about campaigns, for this DLC, you actually get the 100 Years War campaign, which I think is amazing. Obviously, you can play as France or England. It's up to you. But I just think that's a really nice touch. It's going to be a big one, a big campaign. But yeah, it's not like you can march around with armies or anything like that. I wish they would add that to this game. Although if you get Field of Glory Empires, which you can get on my store as well, there at Nexus, then you can actually sort of have that experience. So think about that. Please don't get us killed. Right, here we go. Let's turn and fire with Sir Thomas Erpingham. I think at some point they will auto-break because they are really low on men. And just look at the bodies littering the field here. We've got men-at-arms and knights everywhere. Will it be enough, though? That's the question. Oh, so he did do a morale check, but he held firm. And see, here we've actually got the French men-at-arms in the mud. So it's actually working against us. I think it's because this simulates us actually moving into the mud, so kind of makes sense. And with Baron Thomas Camoy, I expected a much better show there in melee. He didn't do so well. Just very mediocre, basically. Mediocre. And we can't have mediocre during this battle, that's for sure. How do we get a shot with this longbowman, you know, without risking the lives of our men? I don't think we do. But you know what? Maybe we can prepare for an actual flank attack next turn. Although what I will do is I will resolve the combat here with the men-at-arms. Yeah, they held firm. You know what that means. Get those knives out, boys. Now we need to try and break that unit with everything we've got. And here they'll actually break on contact. That takes us out of position for the flank attack next turn here, but I don't think we were going to be able to get it anyway because these are men-at-arms units. So I'm pretty sure that the flank attack has to come from the rear. Many units you can just go ahead and hit them from the side and you get the same effect. Let's fire here. This unit will probably break next turn. But again, attacking would not be a good idea. I mean, even if we remained in combat, the chances of a win are next to impossible. So let's focus on the units that are damaged here. lost it. He actually held firm. I was hoping for an auto break on that particular situation. And actually now I think we should have turned this longbowman unit that way to get the additional attack against the men-at-arms. But again, they are very weak. You can tell there by the tattered flags that their numbers are quite low. Well, time for Humphrey to shine here. And fragmented. That's what we're looking for, and we'll actually follow through with the longbowmen. Again, guys, we have to do this quick. We've got to destroy this first group really quickly before the second group arrives, or else we get killed. We don't have nearly as many men as the French. There we go. That's what I like to see. It's a shame that that longbowman unit is already kind of wavering. Yep, we'll meet it in the middle and try and eventually fire over here at the men-at-arms. Again, just a few of them getting shot down there, but every bit counts. Let's take a little virtual tour of the battlefield. Field of Glory Empires, thank you for the suggestion. For some reason, I missed that one completely. Hope it's on my Nexus store. Field of Glory 2 Medieval certainly is, though. I really do enjoy this game. But let's end that turn. Oh, I don't like that. We have a few rallies on the French side. Incredibly, our men held firm there, despite being pretty much on the verge of a retreat. And again, those men-at-arms are doing very, very well. I feel like they need to add some additional muddy patches here at the Battle of Agincourt. Oh, and that's what we didn't want. A nice flank charge by the enemy. Our guys did hold firm incredibly. But that's always tough to see. That's a break from one of our men. Not good. And again, that second group is definitely arriving. But we might not even get destroyed by them. We might get destroyed by this first group if we're not careful. So I could go for the charge here. Could attempt that. And I think it's the right call in this situation. Let's not risk an attack here at all. Let's just go ahead and fire at the French men-at-arms. And we can actually, instead of risking an attack with that unit, let's take Humphrey, Duke of Gloucester. I think we can get a pretty good charge, because these guys are about to break. So we'll keep these guys here in defense. And yeah, I think we need to turn this unit around. They're going to be most effective against this group. Or, could actually move forward. Yeah, a little risky, but I'm going for it. Oh, look at that. We can actually still get a charge. I'm going for it. We will probably fail the charge. But if we can remain in combat until next turn, we are golden. At least according to the odds. Not bad. Alright, once again, I think these guys will auto-break at some point. They are really weak. Damn. Gotta give them respect. They are really hanging in there. Out of 269 men, they only have 126. So a bunch of men-at-arms there. Just completely broken. What about a charge? No, here a charge would actually be a terrible idea. We have to resolve the combat, unfortunately, not our choice. And see, that's always terrifying. Let's focus fire here. I mean, those knights are still dropping like flies, so... Oh, boy. Which group should we hit first? You know what? We're going to join in on this melee combat if it comes to that. And let's hit those men-at-arms over there at a distance. See, that's terrible. We can't win that fight. But we can't retreat either. Not once we're locked in combat, anyway. There we go. Man, it is a nail-biter, that's for sure. We have to resolve this combat, so let's go for it. Might as well get the bad news now. They're still holding. Okay. Respect, respect. Let's just turn towards the actual battle and end the turn. AGINCOURT continues. Oh, we've got some French units rallying. I don't like to see that. We need to get to that 45% quickly. More likely that 60%. There's that second group arriving. Yeah, that's the one I was concerned about. Hey, Cowboy Bigby. Yeah, what can I say, man? Turn-based is not for everybody. I'm also kind of a real-time strategy guy, but every now and again, as long as the historical subject interests me, I'll absolutely take a chance. And, you know, as far as, like, 100 Years Wars goes, I love it. I also love the other game that this particular company does, Pike and Shot, which allows you to play during, you know, like the English Civil War, all that fun stuff. But yeah, I would love a real-time game with this kind of combat. Well, we can only hope for Medieval 3. We'll have to wait and see if Total War finally decides to make a good game. There we go. Nice. Got a decent break. Unfortunately, they passed all morale checks. Not what I was hoping for or expecting. Do we take a risk here with a charge? I don't know. I kind of think we should. Now, if we cause a dispersal, I wonder, like, if we could force all these units to turn over here to our current generals and leaders, but not so sure. Let's just turn and fire over here. Many, many, many thanks, Cowboy Bigby. Yeah, no, absolutely. I really do. Should we charge? Yeah, we're gonna charge. I'll probably regret this charge later, but right now it sort of feels like the right decision. And can we finally shoot these guys down? Come on. There we go. Finally, we got an auto break. But again, they're doing great on the morale checks. And I need them to fail those morale checks if I have any chance. So we actually could get a flank charge here. I know a charge seems weird with longbowmen, but these longbowmen are armed with some pretty strong dirks and daggers, and they can stab through the enemy's armor. It's a sight to behold. Yeah, let's just turn in their direction so that we can receive the charge with ease, if possible. Although we're not receiving any of these men-at-arms charges with ease. Come on, fire! And now Baron Tamas Kamoy is going to have to make himself useful. And hopefully we break that unit. Again, they held firm, but we almost got a morale check going there. Longbowmen against men-at-arms, and right now the longbowmen are doing pretty well, but not well enough to break them. How you doing, Ezekiel? Good to see you, bud. I think we could push the longbowmen or kind of thread them through this area, but then again, like maybe just keeping them as reserve units is the way to go. No, let's push them up, fill the gaps, and also we get an additional shot. Unfortunately, not against that unit right there. That's what I was hoping for. Let's turn and fire. Longbows. Oh, nice. He dropped like be a good idea, so let's go for it. The initial charge probably won't be that strong, but if we can remain locked in combat, we should come out on top. And over here, Humphrey, Duke of Gloucester. Break them, Humphrey. All right, I'll take a disruption. Unfortunately, this unit is probably going to break here. Not quite. They actually managed to hold, but I don't think that's going to continue for long. And where's the king, by the way? There he is, King Henry V, guys, right there. Also, guys, make sure to follow that Twitch TV link down below. Follow us there if you haven't already. That's where we've been streaming quite regularly, at least as of late. Let's end that turn. I'm still not very confident. Here we go. Come on. Not managing to break them in these combat situations. And why would we? I mean, these French men-at-arms are damn good units. You know, essentially knights without horses. Ah, I could improve that. Thank you for saying something. I appreciate that. Yeah, thanks for saying something, man. Tell me if that's better. I just kind of increased the volume there a bit. I know sometimes I can have my voice quite high on my videos, so I was trying to avoid that. Ooh, still a pretty strong attack. And again, our men are also holding, so I'll give them that, but we need to get some breaks. Some even more consistent breaks. Those guys held as well, wow. Everybody is invested in the fight. You can see that both sides still have pretty high morale. There we go, broke another group of Frenchmen. Unfortunately, they didn't cause any fragmentations amongst the other units. But over here, that could start a whole nother counterattack. That's what I like to see. So we actually did rally up. How are their numbers looking? I feel like we should actually kind of close the gaps, but we can't get any closer. They have the zone of control here. Hold on a second. We need to get another moderator in here because we are getting some ad spammers. So who wants to be a moderator on the channel? Because I don't want to have to keep alt-tabbing here to shut these guys down. That was unfortunate. I thought that was only a Twitch problem. No, of course it happens everywhere. What are you going to do? Yeah, definitely not going for a charge. Let's fire. They held firm, but as you can see, the flag is getting torn to shreds. So that's what we need to do if we want any chance of breaking them, I think. Turn and fire here. Now, the same story with this guy, but I could join an attack. And again, that attack just wouldn't go well. There's just no way. Oh, you want me to do the Henry V speech? Yeah, there's no way that's happening. If I had it memorized, I certainly would attempt Henry V. We few, we happy few. That's all I know. Is it we few, we happy few? I think it is. Here we go, guys. Hope for the win here with the Duke of Gloucester. And an auto break. That's what I like to see. Not following through with the charge. Even better. Hopefully we catch them untowards next turn. I believe the French king is also on this battlefield. If I'm not mistaken. Constable, nope. It's just the Constable Charles d'Albret. So not the king himself. Henry's on the battlefield, though. He's not a coward like the French king. Let's see. They are in the mud. So again, I thought that, like, them being in the mud would be a beneficial thing for our charge. But I guess the idea in this game is you want them attacking you in the mud, or when you're in the mud, essentially. So that simulates just, like, movement into the enemy. Fair enough, fair enough. What about over here? Still no good. Now look at that. Now I do want to try the charge. We actually have a better chance with the longbowmen unit, so I'll go for it. Now the initial charge won't go well, but the follow-up should do pretty well. In the voice of Winston Churchill. That would be pretty badass. I'm sure some independent theater company's done something like that at some point in history. If you can imagine it, it's been done. I think that's what they say. And when I say they, I don't know who they is. But you guys know what I'm talking about here. Held firm, but again, the flags are tearing. And as long as we can destroy them before that group arrives, I think we have a chance. Nope, no point in a charge. Turn around with this unit. And actually, at least we can get a nice shot there with the units that just rallied. That's pretty cool. But I don't think it's going to help us win the battle. Let's actually march out with the longbowmen. It's a nice use of longbowmen. Why not? Didn't cause a morale check, but we are definitely shooting them down. And look at the body count there. My goodness. Even over here, tons of knights down. So, yeah, this charge wouldn't be successful. Otherwise, I would risk another charge with this longbowman unit, but it's just not going to happen. Yeah, exactly, Cowboy. There are a lot of French units arriving. I mean, of course, we're outnumbered in this battle. I think is it 4-1? Pretty sure it's 4-1. So it's still tough. Like, Agincourt is still a challenge in the game. I would say one of the harder battles, even, for the English. Even though historically they won it. Just goes to show you how well they did. Bit worried about those French crossbowmen. I'm sure they do pretty well in close combat. End the turn. Yeah, dispersals don't really help us right now. We need routes. Here's a charge. Not what I want to see, but again, we know they're going to keep charging. I believe having those stakes up, whether they have cavalry or not, does improve our defensive bonus. I hope so, anyway. I really hope so. Man, I would so play the Henry V speech if I could get away with it, but I don't think we can. I think it's owned by Universal Studios at this point. Oh, General fell? We didn't see which general it was. It wasn't ours, I don't believe, because we're fighting their men-at-arms units. We'll check for Henry V. We'll make sure he's still in the battlefield. Because losing him would be horrible. Alright, we've got some nice rallies here. Now, hold on. We may have lost... I don't think we lost Henry. No. Henry is right here. Let's actually resolve his combat. And there we go. We've got a disruption. Unfortunately, they fell back and saved their skins. That's not what I wanted. Held firm. The enemy's morale is still doing pretty damn well. Alright, let's pepper him with shot. Now, we could actually go for a charge, but again, we just wouldn't do so well in this charge. It's up to the longbowmen, unfortunately. Or maybe up to our longbowmen after they actually break. Then we can start firing into that group. For now, we'll focus on these guys. Yeah, we can even get a shot over here. Why not? I'm just trying to make it easier on Humphrey, Duke of Gloucester on this attack. Kind of weakening their numbers. Because again, we have a mere 5 groups of, men-at-arms in this particular battle. It's almost entirely longbowmen. I wish we had, like, some additional, like, sort of, like, light combat units, maybe, like, peasants even. Because I would think that they would have more than just 5 groups of men-at-arms during the fight, but what do I know? I honestly don't know much about the Battle of Agincourt, except what I've seen in movies, which I don't think counts for much. Let's charge. Alright, hold firm, and we will go for the attack. Again, just because their numbers are so low, that I think it's probably the right call. Man, they're still holding on. Come on, Thomas Camoy. No, he didn't manage to push them off that mud patch. Not yet, anyway. Alright, in this case, let's go ahead, turn, and fire. Might as well. And actually, I am going to go for this charge. Again, just because they're already so badly damaged. It's like our only hope, really. No point in a shot there, unfortunately. Alright, let's end the turn. And there we go. We've got some disruption, but we need that all along the line, I think, if we stand a chance at victory. Good to see them dispersing. At least they won't be back for the fight. But they may not need that many men to get a victory. Oh boy, guys, that second group is almost here. Seems like there might be no way to stop the onslaught of Frenchmen. Again, don't expect an easy fight at all during Agincourt here with this DLC. Come on, break them. They're so low on numbers here. You can do it, men. I mean, breaking that entire line would help us tremendously. They fell back. We don't need them to fall back, although maybe that'll allow us to get a flank charge over here. We can only hope. There we go. Decent break, guys. And an absolute pile of French generals there. Or French knights, I should say. Look at that. Absolutely beautiful. A French horde is arriving, indeed. Which difficulty am I playing on? So I'm playing on Baron. 3 of 6. Let's see. Can we push them off this mud patch? Come on, Thomas. No, not quite. There we go. They did hold firm, though, but that was a pretty decent attack, and that will allow us to go ahead and get a flank cohesion charge. Or a flank charge that will force a cohesion test, pardon me. We can also get a shot here with Sir Thomas Erpingham. On that unit, that looks like they're almost destroyed. Hopefully, since these units are so low on men, they'll just break on contact, but I don't think we'll get that lucky. Here we go. Auto brakes, beautiful. Unfortunately, they did not follow through with the actual charge. Usually, I love it when these guys follow through with their charges, but in this case, they just didn't. They are indeed. They really are. It's like D-Day, but with exclusively French. Oh, do we go with the attack? Alright, I'm going to try to break them. Then I'll resolve this combat, because hopefully that will force them to do a morale check. If we get really lucky, of course. And they held firm. King Henry V tried to break them, but they still held firm. There we go. We got an auto break. Not bad. And another break there. Beautiful. That was awesome. So instant dispersal. And the king so far is safe. He's right there. Good old King Henry. Would hate to see this battle on hard, indeed. Yeah, it's a tough one. Tough one for sure. Alright, let's go for a charge. This actually looks like a great attack with Humphrey, Duke of Gloucester. Hopefully leading to a massive break, but no, they are holding on for dear life. They really are. I think they just know that they have more men, and actually I'm mostly worried about Edward Duke of York here. I think he's going to get shut down next turn. Can actually go for a charge, but again, not going to be the best charge, so let's keep our distance. And we'll turn and fire at that unit. Really want to just try and take out the units we know we can beat. Gotta take the risk. In this case, the risk is worth it, I think. Even over here, the risk might be worth it, but it looks pretty bad on both ends. But yeah, I think even here, the risk is worth it. Maybe not. We did get fragmented. The odds were terrible, but I was hoping for a draw next turn to just kind of keep them in combat and drain their numbers. Didn't seem to work out the way I had it planned. To stop them, we must organize a film festival, indeed. Oh, the French will show up. A new baguette store has opened. Everybody please line up quickly. Just take the most objectively wrong stereotypes about the French. We're so sorry, French subscribers. Wait, I have no French subscribers. No, I think Ezekiel Lupo could even be a French subscriber, but I know Ezekiel is Italian. We're going to have to resolve this combat whether we want to or not, but I'm going to let the end of turn auto combat do its thing. Because I don't want to see the misery that that's going to be. Yeah, it's a tough one. Let's go. And again, we've got them at 32%. I believe we need to get them at 45% with less than a 20% difference. And there we go, 2 breaks on our side. It's tough. It certainly is. But if we can get them to 60%, then of course we would get a victory. I don't think we can get them to 60%. We would certainly need some more men-at-arms. And see, they seem to follow through with all their charges over there on the right flank. That is not good, because when we try and follow through with the charges, our guys just kind of suddenly stop the second they make the enemy break. I want them to charge like berserkers to keep attacking, basically. Like, usually that's an issue. In this case, we actually need it. Oh, instant break on contact. Yeah, that's looking awful for our right flank. Absolutely awful. A lot of longbowmen running in terror. And Henry is still fighting with that unit. Well, we've got... Oh, sorry, that's actually Humphrey, the Duke of Gloucester. Well, we've got to get to Henry here. And see if he can lead the glorious charge. Hopefully a victorious, glorious charge. Against the enemy. Here we go. And they held firm. I mean, it was a nice attack. It forced a morale check, but not good enough. And not good enough doesn't win the battle. And again, they held firm, but they are very weak, so I'm hoping against all odds for a major break. Here we go. Don't even give them a chance. And auto breaks. They couldn't take it. They just didn't have enough men there. Let's actually take a look at how many they have left. So 257 initially. They only have 91. Yeah, that's rough. That is rough. Actually, I could go for a shot against these guys here. Come on. Oh, close but no cigar. You know what? We could get another shot with this unit as well. Beautiful. Still no break, but no. I think it's kind of the best we could have hoped for. And once again, I will take the risk with this particular charge. I think we'll do pretty well next turn on that square, not necessarily in the battle itself. And move forward with Baron Thomas Gamoy, or maybe we should simply turn against this group and attack them. It's going to take a minimum of 2 turns to get there, though. Yeah, unit armor looks awesome for the period, and accurate, absolutely. And again, guys, if you take a look at the user-made mods, the community scenarios, some of the armor those guys make is amazing. And, like, the unit designations, etc. It is incredible. So now we're actually on the mud patch, but last time, when the enemy was on the mud patch, it gave them a defensive bonus. So I thought it would work the other way, but that's because it simulates, like, for instance, if we're standing on the patch and they attack us, it's kind of like they're moving into it. That's how I think that's supposed to work. A little confusing at first. And I could still be wrong. Don't take my word don't take my word for it, pardon me. No worries, cowboy. I hope work's treating you well. And that turn, guys, 33% to 28%. I don't think we can win this one. A fun fight, nonetheless. Really, really enjoyable. Maybe we'll lower the difficulty setting next time. I think Baron is pretty average. It's a 3 of 6, but I am getting my ass handed to me, clearly. Oh, another charge. How quaint. That's the last thing we need. Oh man, look at that. Got some more fragmentations on our side. Yup, I was worried about that. It's really only our men-at-arms that can hold out continuously in combat like this. Otherwise, they're not going to stand much of a chance. Oh, nice. Sitting on an oil rig in the Middle East. Very cool, man. That's the big bucks. I'm looking right now. I mean, if I don't manage to get a job here in Portugal, I've said it before, I'm looking at becoming a merchant mariner back in the States, you know, going back to do that. But I don't think I would want to do the oil rig work. Eventually, maybe I would. I kind of just want to start on a regular tugboat, which might eventually be an oil tug. I'm not sure, but I have a lot of respect for that line of work. That's awesome, man. Fire. Now it all comes down to luck of the draw. We need to try and force some morale checks. Easier said than done. Yeah, maybe I did get a little too aggressive, like we pushed out just a bit too much. Very possible. Yeah, see, that charge would not go well, but I'm just going to hold my position with Thomas Camoy. I'm not going to attack. I'll just kind of stay right there. Fire! Oh, come on. Give me a morale check. Just a single one. Alright, we'll turn around. Let's see if Humphrey, Duke of Gloucester, could assist here. I'm just taking a look at the situation. Where would he really do his best? I mean, the enemy units here are pretty badly destroyed. So I'm going to head over here to the center of the fighting. And at this rate, even the longbowmen are doing pretty damn good with the melee combat. But not good enough. See, if they don't break, we don't eat. More importantly, we don't survive. That's the problem. Yeah, I really don't know if I want to risk it, because the actual melee after would be terrible. I hate to have to take a cohesion test here, though. Now, I'm just going to hold on, force them to attack us, and then we'll just keep on attacking with the longbowmen. Alright, let's end that turn. Pretty weak unit attacking, but at this point, I don't think it makes a difference. They know they have a bunch of reinforcements arriving. Come on. I think at this point we'd have to break 28% to get a victory. And that's a tall order. And again, falling back, so frustrating when they do that. That sort of allows them to get out of a possible break, if it comes down to that. I'm going to keep up the fire on the crossbowmen unit. They go down a lot easier than the men-at-arms do. Again, we have to resolve that combat. We might as well resolve it now. And what else? Alright, just firing away. For a unit that's pretty much been in a rain of arrows since the start of the battle, I'm amazed that they are still on the field, but that is Constable Charles d'Albret. That's actually the French commander here. So if we could somehow kill him, Well, that would be perfect. Miracles do happen. Unfortunately, I don't think they're happening for this battle. Alright, what else? Let's put him here. Again, I don't think he can contribute too much, but maybe given enough time, he can eventually move up to one of these tiles and start firing over the heads of these men. Although I don't think Kamoy is going to last much longer. Alright, another chance against that fragmented unit. We need a break. In more ways than one. And even a charge wouldn't work here, and they're very, very beaten up, but a charge, and in this particular situation, would do almost nothing. However, if we charge that unit, they're already kind of wavering. We could end up getting a break. There's a fragmentation, that's what I want to see. Duke of Gloucester resolving the combat there. And they managed to hold. Unbelievable. There we go. Not bad. Unfortunately, everybody passes the morale check. It's just not my day, folks. Clearly. Yeah, absolutely. Good money. Absolutely. It's kind of my last resort, and I don't mean that in a bad way. It's just, you know, if I can't secure any work here in Europe in general in the next 3 to 4 months with pay that I'm happy with, then I'm going back to the States and, you know, getting my TWIC, getting my Merchant Mariner card, and our Merchant Mariner license, pardon me. Let's go for the charge. And going from there. And I just want to do, like, weekly tugs, or what's it called, like, bi-weekly tugs. I'm not, like, necessarily interested in, like, long ocean voyages, but, you know, maybe I'll decide I actually really do like long ocean voyages. I think I'll just kind of have to test out the waters and see what happens if it comes down to that. Come on, give me a break. Still didn't manage to push them in. And at this point, King Henry's unit is pretty beaten up. As you can see, 311 original men-at-arms. We're down to 177. If the king goes down, our chances of victory also continue to drop. They're already pretty low. Alright. End the turn. But yeah, if I was going to do that kind of work, I would absolutely go back to the States. I wouldn't do it in Portugal. Unfortunately, Portuguese sailors are paid really, really poorly, in my opinion. But, I mean, the benefits in Portugal, you know, it's just... There are a lot of things you really don't... there are a lot of things in the States that excuse me. I'm focusing on the combat and trying to talk at the same time. There are a lot of things in Portugal that you kind of take for granted if you leave. And one of those is obviously, like, there's really good medical care here, both private and public. Like, I'm actually on a private plan, but what I pay in comparison to what I would pay in the States is, you know, astronomical. So that's kind of the only reason I've considered wanting to stay here in Europe, is, you know, there's just a lot of expenses in the States that I don't want to have to worry about. But if I can't get a good salary, and you know, especially here in Portugal, getting a good salary is really tough. I might try other European countries. If I can't there, then that's the kind of work I'll probably go for. There's still a lot of PR work to be done, but most of the PR work I've done has been gaming-based. So I'm not sure I want to go into an entirely new industry. You know, maybe even eventually go back to college with some money I make in another job. I'm just, you know, it's amazing how, even at 33, how unsure I am about what I want to do as a career. You know, I've done plenty of private consultation jobs, things like that, but I haven't had, like, a job that I can say I've done for, like, 10 or 20 years. That's what I really want. Most of the local boats in Gulf of Mexico, you will work 2 months and have 1 month off. See, I don't mind that either, actually. I don't mind that either. What about bunks? Do OSs get their own bunks, or only ABs? Or maybe even ABs don't get their own bunks? Turn and fire. We have to go for the charge. We got the flank impact bonus. Here we go. Oh, there's some fragmentation there, boys and girls. And that's Constable Charles D'Aubray. That's the French commander. So killing him would make me very happy. I'm going to charge with another unit as well. Come on. Oh, they held firm. They passed every check. How annoying is that? Alright, well, let's push forward here. And we still get some shots at that unit. I'm amazed they haven't auto-broken yet. What about that charge? Nope, no good. Let's fire. Oh, nice. Yeah, I know there's like, I don't know if you're familiar with it, but there's a program called SIU. And they offer, like, it's sort of like a year and a half, it's not an academy, but it's a sort of a school. I'm not interested in that, and the reason being, again, I'm 33. By the time I get back to the States, I'm probably going to be 34. I think really the approach I want to take is just to hosepipe it, you know, work from the bottom up, and once I get to AB, then I absolutely would consider, you know, going for like 6 months or 8 months and just like doing some of the tests to eventually, you know, get the necessary licenses to move up to captain. But I think it's, you know, I don't mind just climbing up. I think it's better that way. Exactly, Ezekiel. Well, that's the problem, is like my entire life, all of the jobs I've had, it's been like, you know, temporary indie jobs. You know, with the exception of Slytherin Games, CBS, you know, it's always been like 3 months here, 3 months here, 4 months here. It's never been like super consistent. And that's something I've noticed coming to Portugal. It's never consistent. There are like certain career jobs I could do, but they're so poorly paid. Like we're talking like 900 euro a month for 50 hours a week. You know, it's just not enough. So that's why I'm kind of looking at other European countries potentially before I make the jump to being a merchant mariner, because of course, you know, being a merchant mariner, man, it's not an easy life. I mean, you get good pay, but I've spoken to so many people in that career. It is hard work, you know, really, really hard work. I'm kind of a lazy bones, as they like to say, right? But I'm willing to make sacrifices here, especially if it means getting paid and having a career for life. The thing that scares me most about in the U.S. Is the healthcare, number one, and just the politics. I'm not saying which side, but it just seems like there's so much hatred from all sides politically. Yeah, I hope it doesn't go downhill. Let's put it that way. It's a great country. Tide is churning on your left side. The tide. I think we're in trouble, to be honest with you. But nonetheless, fun fight. Oh, I see what you mean. I see what you mean. Yeah, we've got some disruptions there. Will it be enough is the question. I don't think so. Oh, that's awesome. All right, let's see. We have to resolve this combat. Let's go for it. Gotta resolve this one as well. I don't want to, though, because the result will not be good. Let's fire. Honestly, I'm kind of surprised we survived this long, all things considered. All right, let's see. Focus here or go for the charge here? Nope, I think we focus on the unit that's about to break. Would be great to get an additional break here. 41%, I mean, we're close to that 45%. But I think if there's a difference of greater than 20, then we still don't get the victory. What about here? Oh, look at that, boys and girls. Massive impact charge. And that's what I'm talking about. Nice little auto break. Beautiful. Unfortunately held for... They passed all of those morale checks. Let's turn to fire at this unit. They look pretty weak already. Let's shoot away. Just the amount of knights on the battlefield dead is incredible at this point. They're literally just walking over corpses. Corpses with incredible armor, that's for sure. Gonna have to auto-resolve it. Alright, here we go. I mean, I cannot believe the battle's still going on. Pretty impressive. Let's zoom out just a bit there to see the entire line. A lot of charges. And a flank attack on King Henry V himself. This is what could have been. Thank goodness it didn't happen. Need more mud. And that's a break. Yeah, not much that can be done for that men-at-arms unit. And they held, despite that flag being in absolute tatters. Got some rallies here. I don't think it'll make a difference, though, unless we can get some pretty amazing routes. Oh, let's see. No amount of arrows at this point can change fate. Let's see. Maybe over here? No chance. Alright, here we go. 45%. And I don't think that's changing. Well, let's go for the charge. Might as well risk it. Oh no, Anita. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, we got a few spammers today. It's not typical in here on YouTube. We do have it on Twitch every now and again. Aw. Yeah, there's no way we win that fight. There just isn't. Let's end the turn. It's luck-based, but the luck is not on our side. Let's put it that way. IT, though it chose me, says Alex. Ah, nice IT. Yeah, see, I've done, well, I guess not IT work, but I've done mostly office work, and I'm not sure I want to go back to it. Like, I'm not sure it's for me. So a lot of the times I just find myself with nothing to do in the office. Whereas with physical labor, you don't really have that problem. You always have something to do. You know, even if it's just a scrubbing decks. We'll have to wait and see. And, of course, those reinforcements have arrived. Ever more terrifying, of course. Yeah, our guys are just on the verge of breaking right there. I don't think there's any chance. We got so close, though. 43%. 43%. I mean, if we could have gotten them to, I think, 50 2 turns ago, then we could have certainly won. But now we're the ones dispersing. Initially, it was the French dispersing. Not the case now. Trying to see if there are any openings at all. All we can do is try and pepper them with arrows and force breaks. I actually should have shot at this unit, but that's neither here nor there. Fire! Oh, that's too bad, MM. I think a good thing to do is head to the Slytherin forums. Like, I think they actually have sort of like a player finder system there. Well, you know, they have a forum where you can find players. Alternatively, join the Agrippa Maxentius Discord and go into the Find a Game room, and I'm sure you'll find somebody to play with. But yeah, I guess there's just not as many people to play these turn-based, very, very niche games. I wish people would, but I'd have more followers and more money, but them's the luck of the luck of the cards. Let's see. Oh, don't want that much information. Yeah, let's charge in there. They are in the mud. The odds are against us, but we have to be quite desperate here. If we want any chance at victory, I think. Pretty sure we get beaten at 43%, though. Heck of a fight, though, indeed. I mean, the body count is ridiculous there. Just dead knights everywhere. Again, in most medieval combat battles, knights would be taken and sold later, ransomed later, to the other kingdom, but not necessarily in Agincourt. Those knights were mostly killed. Pretty rough stuff. But I kind of like that gory aspect of medieval life. Not if it were to happen today, of course. No, no way. Nobody would want that. Have your own little doomsday shelter hidden away from the world. No, 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 no. Bad idea, bad idea. Yeah, medieval times are interesting and quite bloody. Yeah, look at that body count. And, like, the beautiful and ornate armor makes the bodies just look so much more beautiful there on the battlefield. Such a nice touch. We are the guardians of the niche. Yes, indeed. Yeah, and again, remember, you can get that game, or this game, on my site. Go down below, nexus.gg/Agrippa Maxentius. And also, anybody that is getting Distant Worlds Universe 2, guys, there's 10% off there on the Nexus GG store. Again, take my link, please. 10% off is pretty damn good for such a great game. We're definitely going to be streaming some Distant Worlds 2 on Twitch, but they need to send me the new key. I did get the alpha key, but didn't really play much of it. If you want to see the video, it's here on the channel. But I loved it. And it looks amazing. It really looks amazing. I didn't think anything could look better than Stellaris, but it absolutely looks better than Stellaris. In my opinion, of course. Again, these are the weakest group. We gotta fire at them. Seems now the arrows aren't even piercing. That's not good. Alright, guys, flank charge. Hey, interesting. And that's Edward, the Duke of York. We might even get a break here. Look at that, a break on the French lines, 47%. Still not enough to get a victory. We'd have to get to 60%, folks. But I like to think that we did a pretty good job at trying. Let's put it that way. We tried our best. That's a result I can live with. Let's put it that way. Maybe we go here and attempt a flank. I don't think it's possible. Especially since these guys are already so badly damaged. Good shot. It said 0 and a guy fell down. He's faking it. Cut off his head. The guy's a traitor. Know your men. There we go. It really is coming down to the last here. Today you get rocketed instead of killed by a sword engine. Exactly. Come on. They started off with very high morale, but it seems everybody is morale deficient at the moment. Actually, not really. If you consider the amount of men that the French have lost there, how tattered the flags are, and the fact that they still haven't gotten disrupted, their morale is doing pretty well, I think. Oh, cheers, Ezekiel. Thank you for the free, the free ad there. So evidently for the Nexus GG store, for European customer, you get a little discount. Very nice. Auto broke on our part. I think it's the end for England. Yep, another auto break. Man, how long have we been streaming? Over an hour and a half. It's been a long fight for sure. This is the true AGINCOURT. I think for sure they have to add some more men-at-arms, groups of men-at-arms, but who knows, who knows. Maybe they really had none at all. I think the British did have a decent amount. But again, what do I know? Fire and maneuver, we've tried that already. No luck. Let's see. Try to push him through over here. Unfortunately, we have to wait till next turn to get a shot. There we go. I'm going for the charge just to try and get the break here. There we go. Down to the line. We have to resolve that combat. I don't want to, but we have to. Okay, not bad. Take that. Oh, man. Right down to the last man. Yeah, when they start rallying like that, that's definitely bad news. That's a break. If they get to 60%, that's GG for France. Winning the Battle of Agincourt. And for anybody wondering, yeah, I'm playing on Baron difficulty. That's 3 out of 6. I'm going to have to lower that to, I think it's Knight, the second difficulty for Agincourt. Again, I expected like a super easy battle. Because every movie you see on Agincourt, you know, the English just absolutely crush the French. And we did crush that initial French mounted line. But once these men-at-arms arrived, things got quite interesting. Look at those bodies, though. Maybe like 10%, I would guess, Andre. Not even 10% at this point. 2 turns ago, I would have said maybe 15%. But I do want to see that final body count. Oh, there we go, brothers. Let's have a look there. So yeah, Baron difficulty is right there. I do want to review the battlefield, though, before we go directly to the body counts. Like, look at how beautiful that is. Just the bodies down on the field, the knights dead, their horses draped over them. Really, really nice representation of the Battle of Agincourt. And again, we started by putting down the pikes. You can see the pikes all through the area to stop the cavalry charges. We succeeded at that, but man, these follow-up men-at-arms, despite having so few men, like this group, for instance, they started with 269, they went down to 113. They were brave to the last man. So were our longbowmen, though, to be fair. Absolutely amazing. Well, there we go, guys. The kill counts for both sides. I want to thank everybody for stopping in and watching the stream. Obviously, make sure to follow us if you haven't already. And if you like watching my streams in general, you might want to click that Twitch TV button. That's really the most likely place you'll actually find me, I think, for streaming is twitch.tv/AgrippaMaxenius. Anyway, thank you so much, and I hope to see you on the next one. I am going to throw an ad your way, so please forgive me, but here's an ad. Thanks again, folks. Really appreciate it. Really fun battle. Can't say the same for how our men did. Alright, I shall catch you on the next one.